In Lesson 7.1, Part 2, we're going to continue converting liquid measures using U.S. customary units. So we're going to go back to your math journal page 229. This is a continuation from the last lesson. We're going to continue on page 229. At the top, you will see a diagram that displays a measurement scale. And you'll notice that they have gallons, quarts, quarts to pints, and pints to cup. We're going to begin with question number 6. Mr. Lee ordered 45 pints of milk for the 4th grade party. There are 96 4th graders, and each is supposed to get 1 cup of milk. Did Mr. Lee order the correct amount of milk? So in your math journal over on the side, I would like you to write down 45 to represent the pints that he purchased. Now we don't have pints to cups all the way up to 45 here. It goes up to 5. But we know that for every pint, we have 2 cups. So if we take and multiply the 45 pints times 2 cups in each pint, we'll see if there are enough for the 96 4th graders. Would you please pause the video and multiply 45 times 2 and then turn the video back on? So 5 times 2 is 10, carrier 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So did he order the correct amount of milk? No. If so, explain why you think he is correct. If not, how many pints of milk should he have ordered? Now, if we take 96 on the other side of your math journal, and we know we're going to get 2 cups out of each pint. So let's go ahead and take 96 and divide it in half, because there'll actually be enough for 2 kids in each pint, because they're each supposed to get 1 cup. So would you please, on the left side of your journal, divide 96 by 2. Put 96 in the dividend and 2 is the divisor. Do this one with me. 2, how many 2s are there in 9? There are 4. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? I'm going to multiply. 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract. I'm going to check. That 1 is smaller than my divisor 2. So I'm going to bring down my 6. Now I'm going to ask myself, how many 2s are there in 16? There are 8. Now I multiply. 8 times 2 is 16. Subtract. Mr. Lee needs to order 48 pints, which will give him 96 cups. Number 7, Daphne and Jordan made jam to sell at the market. Their jam is sold in pint-sized jars. They made 137 quarts, but only sold 59 quarts. How many pint-sized jars are left? Well, let's take the 137 quarts that they made. Write this in your math journal. Should have room up at the top. You could even write it up here. You could put it up here or over on the side. Find somewhere to take 137 and subtract the 59 quarts that they sold. Go ahead and subtract. They had 78 quarts left, but they're not asking how many quarts, how many pint-sized jars are left. If I go from quarts to pints, there are twice as many pints in every quart, so I need to multiply this by 2. So 2 times 8 is 16. Carry my 1. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 1 is 15. There are 156 pint-sized jars left. Continuing with number 8. James had a 3-quart water bottle. Eileen bought a 1-gallon jug. Whose container holds more cups? Let's go back to the land of gallon, where there are 4 queens, and each queen has a prince and a princess, and each prince and princess doesn't want to get bored, so they each have 2 cats, a boy girl and a girl cat, boy cat, girl cat. Now, if we look at James's 3-quart water bottle, 3 quarts would be 1 quart, 2 quarts, 3 quarts. Count how many cups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Just going to put that up there. Eileen has the whole gallon, so she would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 cups in 1 gallon. Whose container holds more cups? Eileen's does. How many more? Well, the difference between 16 and 12 is 4 cups. Let's continue on to page 230. Would you move to page 230? Cooking with fractions. Who loves to cook? Well, Marta does. Number 1, Marta is making barbecued chicken. The barbecued chicken recipe calls for 2/8 cup of mustard, 3/8 cup of lemon juice, 2/8 cup of brown sugar, and all together, how many cups of ingredients are required for the sauce? So we're going to go ahead and add together all of these fractions. So on journal page 230 with me, we're going to add 2/8 plus 3/8 plus 2/8, and it asks to put unknown. That's a variable. I'm going to put B for barbecue. 1/8 remains the same. Our denominator does not change, and we add together the numerators. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 2 is 7. Altogether, there will be 7/8 of a cup. Number 2, a vegetable recipe calls for 2/4 teaspoons of basil, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of oregano, 2/4 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. How many teaspoons of herbs and spices are in the soup? Let's go ahead and add them all together. 2/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 2/4 plus 1/4, and write it with the unknown. I'm going to put S for spices. Remember, fourths does not change. We just add together the numerators. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. Okay, that's 1 whole teaspoon. I'm just going to put that there. 2 plus 1 is 3. So if I just added together, these 2 equal a whole teaspoon, and then I have 3/4 of another one. So 1 3/4 teaspoons. Continuing down the page on page 230. Rainey has 5/6 of a bottle of olive oil and 2/6 of a bottle of grapeseed oil. The bottles are the same size. How much more olive oil does she have than grapeseed oil? So here we're trying to figure out the difference in the 2 amounts in each bottle. So we're going to take 5/6, which is the larger fraction, minus 2/6, and write it with an unknown. Remember, the denominator stays the same, so we just go ahead and subtract. 5 minus 2 is 3, or another way to say that would be half of a bottle. Number 4. Michael made a pizza. He put 8/10 cup of green peppers, 5/10 cups of mushrooms on it. How many more green peppers are on the pizza than mushrooms? Figuring out difference again. When we're figuring out the difference between two things, we subtract. So 8/10 minus 5/10 equals an unknown. We'll put P for pizza. And we just go ahead and subtract the numerators. 8 minus 5 is 3. 3/10 cups. And number 5, we need to chop 4 1/3 cups of tomatoes, 2 1/3 cups of radishes, and 3 2/3 cups of carrots for the salad. How many cups of chopped vegetables do we need? So we're going to add them all together. 4 1/3, which is called a mixed number, a whole number plus a fraction, plus 2 1/3 plus 3 2/3 equals V for veggies. All right, I'm going to see if I can add together any of these fractions to get one whole number. Watch this. 1/3 plus 2/3 is 3/3, which equals a whole. So now I can add together the whole numbers. 4 plus 2 plus 3 plus the 1, which was the 1/3 and 2/3 added together. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 and then 1/3 remaining. So 10 1/3 cups. And the last part of page 230. Numbers 6 through 13, we're either adding or subtracting fractions without the number story. So go ahead, keep the denominators the same, and watch the sign. What number plus 6 gives me 9? Not 6 plus 9, but what number plus 6 gives me 9? And that would be 3/10. Moving across to number 7, we keep 12s the same and go ahead and add the numerators. 9 plus 4 is 13. We call that an improper fraction. You can leave it like that, or we would say that would be equal to 1 1/12. Number 8, we keep eighths the same and subtract the numerators. 5 minus 2 is 3. Number 9, 6. Some number minus 5 gives me 2. What number can I subtract from 5 to give me 2? 3/6. Number 10, carefully look at the denominators. We need to change tenths to hundredths by multiplying the numerator and the denominator by 10. 3/10 is the same as 30 hundredths, and now I can add. 43 plus 30 is 73 hundredths. Same thing with number 11. Take a look at that one. I have to change tenths to hundredths, multiply the bottom by 10, multiply the top by 10. 90 minus 63. If you can't do it in your head, use the space on the side of your math journal. Remember, you cannot take 3 if there's nothing in the ones column up at the top. Borrow from the 9 and make it an 8. 10 minus 3 is 7, and 8 minus 6 is 2. 27 hundredths. And the last one, we are adding and subtracting mixed numbers. So go ahead and add the whole numbers. 3 plus 4 is 7. 2 2/3 and 2/3 is 4/3. And we would call that 8 1/3. Because 4/3 is the same as 1 1/3, I add that whole number to 7 to get 8. And lastly, 5 2/4 minus 2 3/4. I'm writing this for a very specific reason. I cannot subtract 3/4 from 2/4. Do you remember what we did here? It's been a while. We borrow from the whole number. We turn that fraction into a fraction that equals one whole. We use the same denominator. And we put that as a numerator. Add that together with what's already there. 4/4 is the same as 1 that I borrowed from the 5. Add that to 2/4, you get 6/4. And guess what? Now I can subtract. 6/4 minus 3/4 is 3/4, and 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 3/4. Be careful on that one. I would guess a lot of people would just say 3 1/4. but you cannot subtract 3/4 from 2/4.